Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Roger Senti. I am a graduate of Des Moines University's Osteopathic Medical Program of 1958. As Grand Marshal for this ceremony today, I am pleased to greet all of you who are gathered here. After serving a residency in general surgery, I went and practiced for 2 years. I became a faculty member in 1964 and dean in 1971. I thought this would be a wonderful time of academia and collegial relationship, but how wrong I was. This is 1964. This is probably one of the most chaotic, dynamic, confusing decades you've ever seen. The Johnson administration at that time passed the Civil Rights Law, Voting Rights Act, and the Medicare and Medicaid Act, making health care available to the elderly and the needy. This was, incidentally, was the first actual health care law that was ever passed. Des Moines University, at that time, went through its transition also, where the student body was in considerable confusion as to what their future. You got to remember, the Vietnam War was over, and most graduates, after completing their internships, they were probably drafted almost immediately with the thoughts of being sent to Vietnam. Our graduates, I'm very proud to say, they served our country really well. One of our graduates earned the Silver Star for valor in combat. Unfortunately, we did lose the life of one of our graduates who was killed in action. But here we are today, today's ceremony, the 123rd in the history of Des Moines University, which continues to have a rich academic tradition, which, believe me or not, it began in the 19th century. The first class was in 1899 with 8 students. Now here before us, we have 385 graduates beginning wanting to receive their degrees. And it's my honor, hopefully, that they will be introduced to all of you today. Their graduates will be in the College of Health Science, the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery, and the College of Osteopathic Medicine. I am pleased now to welcome the CEO and President of Des Moines University, Dr. Angela Walker Franklin, who will be serving as the presiding official of this commencement. Dr. Franklin.
Platform party may be seated. Good afternoon, and thank you, Dr. Senti. Welcome to our students and guests. Please rise for the national anthem to pay tribute to this great nation for the many freedoms we enjoy. Philip Anderson, Austin Janiski, and Benjamin Peters, all members of the Doctor of Osteopathic class of 2023, will lead us in singing our anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the whole
please remain standing. Thank you. Please remain standing for a moment of silent reflection and gratitude for our many blessings. Thank you. You now may be seated. Welcome, everyone, to the 123rd commencement ceremony for Des Moines University. Congratulations to the members of the Des Moines University class of 2023, who after much hard work, perseverance, and adaptation are ready to help protect and improve the health of individuals, communities, and populations. After these many months and years of planning and preparing for the next exam, the next lab, the next clinical rotation, the next interview, please enjoy living in this moment. You have earned it. I also want to express my deep gratitude to each of you for choosing your path. Graduates, you demonstrated extraordinary courage and resilience during your Des Moines University education. You began your studies as, or soon after, the coronavirus tragically stole lives, reshaped our world, and sparked debates about science and health. You and your faculty had to adjust to virtual learning amid unknowns and uncertainties, yet you stayed the course toward careers of service. You have developed and demonstrated the character, knowledge, and fortitude to take on whatever lies ahead. We all can be thankful the world now has more than 400 additional DMU graduates who are prepared to lead in healthcare, public health, scientific research, and more. Thank you. We are joined on this day of celebration by DMU faculty, staff, and distinguished members of the university's Board of Trustees who contributed to your preparation and who are so proud of all that you have achieved. I want to take a few moments today to recognize and thank one of these individuals who has been awarded Emeritus status for her years of service, educating, mentoring, and inspiring our students. Dr. Maria Potestas joined Des Moines University in 1993 as a member of the anatomy faculty. She achieved tenure in 2001 and was promoted to professor in 2009. Through the years, she has been a distinguished and devoted educator for students in our osteopathic medicine, podiatric medicine, physician assistant, physical therapy, and Master of Anatomy programs. Dr. Potestas has served the anatomy department and the university as a chair and a member of committees ranging from admissions and educational resources to faculty welfare, curriculum development, and strategic planning. Her educational legacy will endure through her authorship of the textbook on neuroanatomy and through her positive impact on thousands of Des Moines University graduates. Thank you, Dr. Potestas. All of us at the university are excited to watch what members of the class of 2023 will go on to accomplish. And we look forward to continuing to engage with you as the newest members of the Des Moines University Alumni Association. Graduates, you are in excellent company as you join an illustrious community of more than 15,500 DMU alumni who practice and serve in all 50 states. To the family and friends joining us today, thank you for the many ways you have supported, encouraged, and cheered on your students. Thank you for believing in them, even when they may have doubted themselves. You all can share our confidence and pride that members of the Des Moines University class of 2023 will be excellent health professionals and leaders. Graduates, that is my challenge to you. Be the excellent health professionals and leaders our world needs more than ever. Be inspired by your faculty, preceptors, and mentors who have guided your path. Aspire to join the healthcare providers, public health officials, and scientists who continue to rise to the challenges of emerging diseases, misinformation, and persistent health disparities. Be strong and steadfast advocates for science, evidence-based practice, and culturally competent and respectful health care. These are lofty aspirations, but graduates, I know you are ready to take them on. You have been prepared to use and share your wisdom, speak with reason, and lead with compassion. You are Des Moines University graduates who have gained exceptional preparation for your professions while remaining true to your why, your commitment to make the world a better place. This is the time, your time, to use your knowledge and commitment to humanity to make our world safer, healthier, and more equitable. Graduates, you have demonstrated that you have the power, passion, and purpose to do just that. Draw strength from your past experiences. Think of those moments that have affirmed you are on the right path, when you comforted a patient, volunteered in the community, helped discover new scientific knowledge, or encouraged a classmate or colleague. Now go forth and use your DMU education to achieve even greater things and contribute to our quality of life. On behalf of the faculty, trustees, and all members of the DMU community, I extend thanks to the families and friends who joined us today to celebrate our graduates and their individual and collective achievements. To the class of 2023, please enjoy this day and strive to make tomorrow a better day. In all you do, know Des Moines University is enormously proud of you, the work you do, and the positive impact you will have. I'm now pleased to invite Dr. Michael Witt, a member of the class of osteopathic medicine, class of 1977, and a member and past chair of the Des Moines University Board of Trustees, to greet our graduates and guests. Dr. Witt.
As guardians of the university's mission and academic excellence, the members of the Board of Trustees are delighted to extend greetings to all gathered here today. We are extremely proud to recognize these talented graduates and to extend our congratulations to them and to the faculty. We applaud every one of you and wish you a prosperous future dedicating to serving people and populations. You persevered through the rigors of your DMU degree program and the adjustments of the pandemic required. You know new challenges will arise, but you are ready and equipped to tackle them. I am proud to call you my fellow DMU alumni. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of DMU, our very best wishes to each of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Witt. I'm now pleased and honored to introduce our commencement speaker. Dr. Megan Schrenebus is an infectious disease physician and a public policy health researcher who endeavors to share her expertise to benefit people in Iowa and beyond. The valedictorian of her Fort Dodge, Iowa high school class, she went on to provide care and perform research to enhance the quality of life of underserved populations and to tackle health disparities in countries around the world. Dr. Schrenebus returned to Iowa to practice at a federally qualified health center in Fort Dodge. In 2020, she chaired the Biden-Harris COVID-19 Response Council in Iowa. Her passions and practice experiences motivated her to effect change through elective office. In 2022, she was elected to represent District 30 in the Iowa House of Representatives, making her the youngest woman of color ever elected to the Iowa legislature. We are grateful to her for working to maintain and enhance the health of Iowans and for joining us today. Dr. Schrenebus, I am honored to invite you to the podium to deliver the commencement address for the DMU class of 2023.
Thank you, Dr. Franklin, for those kind words. I have to say, looking out here amongst the crowd, I see so many excited faces, both of the graduates, but also of the loved ones who are here to celebrate and cheer you on. I also see two very relieved faces when I look at my parents, because it's the first time I'm on a graduation stage and they don't have to pay any money. But because today is your day, I want to start by having every single graduate in this room stand up, all 385 of you. I want you to look to your left, your right, in front of you and behind you, and congratulate the people who have made it through these years with you. Congratulate each other for what you have achieved. Thank you. You can all sit down again. Welcome to the world of healthcare. As you cross the stage today and get a few new letters behind your name, along with that comes a certain amount of privilege that you only get when you enter the world of healthcare. You might have an official title as somebody's physical therapist, their podiatrist, their doctor, or the health administrator at the local hospital. But because you are in the position you're in, because you hold that certain amount of gravitas, you also receive a certain amount of trust and authority in any room that you walk into. Those are your new superpowers. And my question to you is, how are you going to use those superpowers to benefit the world around you? Growing up, my brother was always my role model. He taught me so many of the lessons in life that have led me to where I am today, including the 3 most important lessons that have taught me how to use the letters behind my name well. And those are the lessons I'm going to share with you today. When we were growing up, my brother could convince my mother of absolutely anything. And so, being the wise woman that she is, she came up with a new answer to his requests. Instead of saying yes or no, she started to say, "Ask Dad." That worked well for a few years, and then around year 5, baby sister came along and Dad was no longer an obstacle. But we used our newfound power for good. We got a later bedtime, a new Super Nintendo, and even a puppy. And while these seem like trivial requests, it wasn't what we won that made an impact. It was the lessons that my brother taught me by working together, by advocating, by using our voice. It was those lessons that have carried me throughout my life. The very first lesson he taught me was the importance of diversity and collaboration. And when I'm talking about diversity, I'm talking about a difference of opinion, a difference of perspectives, whether it's because of your age, your gender, your race, your geography, your occupation, your lived experiences. It's about bringing those different perspectives to the table so that way you are able to work at things from a different angle, combine your super strengths to come up with a new solution that you wouldn't have come up with on your own. That's the importance of diversity and teamwork, and we see it every day in our society. Diversity is one of the biggest assets in our society, but the question is, are we actually using it to its utmost capability? When we look at different genres throughout the world, when we look at the world of cuisine and food and culinary arts, we can see that it's diversity and collaboration that is so successful. Fusion foods evolved about 20 years ago and became one of the biggest hits on the market. And fusion foods are where you combine 2 or more different cuisines to come up with a completely different flavor profile. Not only did that become popular, but several chefs decided to take it a step further. Sublimotion, which is the most expensive restaurant in the world, is located in Ibiza, Spain. There, the chef decided that not only was he going to combine different cuisines to create a fusion, but he was going to bring different strengths to the table to create a whole new experience. He brought engineers, designers, artists, directors, chefs, sommeliers, all together to create what he called a culinary performance. And because of that, he now earns $2,400 per plate served in his restaurant. That is a successful use of diversity and collaboration. We can see this happen in the world of music, where African folklore music, jazz, and swing all came together to form blues, which is one of the most popular and profitable forms of music today. And even in the business world, Boston Consulting Group did a study where they found that diverse teams in management were likely to increase revenues by 19%. And here they define diversity by age, gender, geography, and race. They saw the outcomes because they saw more creative innovation and positive disruption in the field. And when we look at healthcare, we can see that the diversity and collaboration is being embedded every single day in the form of multidisciplinary teams, or multi-D teams. As many of you in this room know, multi-D teams are when we bring together people from different specialties, different niches, to think about the patient in a holistic manner, to think of them as a person. How are we going to enable them to thrive? But that wasn't the norm until actually recently. In the 1980s, if you had cancer, a head and neck cancer, you would go to one physician who was thought to be the expert that had to treat you globally. Think about every aspect of your care. Then medical technology started to advance, and we saw radiation and chemo and surgery all coming together to attack the same cancer, increased patient outcomes. And so these same people started to think, who else can we bring to the table? And in 1998, it did take more than a decade, but in 1998, we had our first full multi-D team with breast cancer researchers who brought together psychosocial support, physical therapists, nursing, dietitians, physicians, specialists in different parts of care together to see how they could impact patient care. And what happened was decreased adverse outcomes, improved patient outcomes, increased patient and healthcare worker satisfaction, and for all you health administrators in the room, increased profitability. So, multi-D, diversity, collaboration, all in the same room, at the same table, works. So how are you going to apply it to the world around you? When you stood up and greeted your neighbor today, congratulated them on this amazing monumental achievement, are they the same degree as you? Do they have a different perspective, a different lived experience than you? We have 385 people in this room going into different occupations, different walks of life, coming from different past experiences. Who in this room is your future collaborator to solve some of the world's biggest problems? And as you're thinking about that, you're probably wondering, okay, I've met my collaborator, I have a team, I have a partner. How do I create the change that we want? And that brings me to the next lesson, advocacy. Advocacy is using your voice together as a group, creating a plan, a goal, implementation steps to implement that plan, and ultimately achieving that goal. With my brother and I, we had the goal of that puppy. We each had our different strengths we brought to the table. We came up with a plan. We had to convince my mom that this puppy was not going to ruin the new carpet in her house. I never made promises about her new shoes, though. And ultimately, it took us 8 months, but we achieved that plan. And it seems like a small goal relative to what's facing you out there in the world, but it's the exact same steps. When this country was founded, the Constitution did not allow women to vote. In fact, it was more than 100 years later before it was even introduced as a solidified concept that women should vote. In 1878, the 19th Amendment was first introduced into Congress, which would grant the women the right to vote. It was 42 years later, in 1920, when it was finally passed and ratified, enabling women to have that right. But it was many small battles along the way that got us to that point. One of those small battles happened in Illinois in 1913. They decided that they would allow women to vote in local as well as presidential elections. And 2 women in particular said, let's use that chance to advocate and create even grander change. They weren't allowed on the ballot, so Ida B. Wells and Belle Squire formed the Alpha Suffrage Club and decided that their goal was to elect the first Black person to the Chicago City Council. In a ward that normally only has 16,000 voters, they went door to door and registered 7,290 new female voters. And in 1915, because of their efforts, Oscar DePriest became the first Black person ever elected to the Chicago City Council, 1/3 of his votes coming from women. He also became the first Black person ever elected to Congress a few years later. It's using your voice, your teamwork, to advocate that can create positive change. In the world we live in, politics and policy determine what happens when it comes to many healthcare decisions, many of the social determinants of health that our patients face. We can't afford to be silent because of our profession, but also for the communities in which we live. We must advocate. I've seen many of your faces up on the Hill before, and I'm very, very proud to see that. But how many of you will continue once residency sets in, once you have families, jobs? How many will find that time? Many of you have decided to stay in Iowa, which I thoroughly applaud. Iowa is my home, and I was proud to move back here as soon as I got a chance. But like every other place, we have our challenges. In the state of Iowa, one of our challenges is mental health care. We are dead last in the nation when it comes to per capita resources for mental health care. Every single graduate today will face restrictions because of that dearth of services, whether it's for a patient, a loved one, or yourself. What can you do to change it before you have to face that hurdle? Who can you bring to the table with you? How can you advocate to be a catalyst for change? And that brings me to the last lesson that my brother taught me, the importance of using your voice. And it comes even down to the most basic unit, like voting. On your way home from work, stopping at your school or church, spend 5 minutes, cast a ballot, and still make it home for dinner. A simple utilization of one of the freedoms we have in this nation, voting. It's one of the most important ways in which you can reflect your voice. In fact, thousands of people contact me when I'm in the session during the year. They email, call, visit, send me DMs on Twitter, Instagram, all advocating for issues that they care about, bills, legislation, or a topic that's close to their heart. Every single time somebody contacts me, I log them into my database so that way I can keep track of their concerns and correspond with them again in the future to tell them, give them an update on what happened with that bill. And as I do, I can see if they voted or not. Of the thousands of contacts I received, only 54% of the people had voted in the 2022 election. That means 46% of the people who contacted me, which also was equivalent to about 4,000 people, they cared so much about an issue. They contacted a legislator, found my information, found a way to get a hold of me. Sometimes I'm not even their legislator, but they didn't vote. And voting matters. 10 of my colleagues in the House that serve with me won their elections by less than 1,000 votes. Many as few as 11 votes, 27 votes, or 138. So when you're thinking how to use your voice, how to make a change, I'm not telling you who to vote for, I'm just asking you to vote. Vote because you want to vote for the person who supports your profession, your colleagues, but most importantly, your patients, the reason you're here today. If you truly want to give holistic care to the person that walks into your room or your hospital, you need to think about every aspect of their life, how it's impacted by the systems in which we live, and how you can use your superpowers, your newfound superpowers, to create positive change for them. So I want to congratulate you on this milestone that you've come to today. It's not just the years you spent in your degree programs, but it's all of the hard work that you did before then to even get into your programs that have culminated and you being a part of the healthcare workforce that's going to change tomorrow. But the way you truly create that change is not just showing up to work for your patients, but showing up in every space and using your gravitas to create the world that we all deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shrenovus. At this time, the deans will now present their graduating classes in preparation for the awarding of the degrees. I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Wallace Bouvet, Dean of the College of Health Sciences.
Thank you, Dr. Franklin. Will the graduates from the College of Health Sciences, the Healthcare Administration Program, the Public Health Program, the Physician Assistant Program, and the Physical Therapy Program please stand? President Franklin, members of the Board of Trustees, honored guests. On behalf of the faculty, I present to you the 2023 graduating class of the College of Health Sciences. The faculty members of the College of Health Sciences have evaluated the candidates and endorse all of these students as worthy of having the degree Master of Healthcare Administration, Master of Public Health, Master of Science and Physician Assistant Studies, or Doctor of Physical Therapy conferred on them. I am proud to present the class of 2023 of the College of Health Sciences. Please be seated.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Kevin Smith, Dean of the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery. Will the graduates of the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery please stand? On behalf of the faculty, I present the 2023 graduating class of the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery. The faculty members of the college have evaluated the candidates and endorse each of these individuals as worthy of having the degree Doctor of Podiatric Medicine conferred on them. President Franklin, it is my pleasure to present the class of 2023 of the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery and the newest members of the podiatric medical profession. Please be seated.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Stephen Helm, the Dean of the College of Osteopathic Medicine. Will those graduates from the College of Osteopathic Medicine, the Anatomy Program, the Biological Sciences Program, and the Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine Program please stand? On behalf of the faculty, I present to you the 2023 graduating class of the College of Osteopathic Medicine. The faculty members of the College of Osteopathic Medicine have evaluated the candidates and endorse all of these students as worthy of having the degree Master of Science in Anatomy, Master of Science in Biomedical Sciences, or Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine conferred on them. President Franklin, it is with great pride that I present the class of 2023 of the College of Osteopathic Medicine. Please be seated.
I am pleased to receive these candidates. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of this university and by the state of Iowa, I do hereby confer upon each graduate the degree for which you have been endorsed, with all of the honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining to this degree, of which your diploma will be a witness forever. You are hereby recognized as graduates and alumni of Des Moines University. Congratulations to all of you. We will now recognize the degree recipients individually with the procession of the graduates. Would the Public Health and Healthcare Administration students please proceed forward? I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Simon Galetta, professor in the Department of Public Health, who will announce the names of the graduates for the Healthcare Administration and Public Health programs.
We will begin the recognition for the graduates in Healthcare Administration program who have earned a Master of Healthcare Administration degree. Rodo Hassan Abdurrahman, Melissa Joy Adams, Cynthia Sesa, Nicole Coffin, Michaela Renee Eslinger, Francesca Shans Gibby, Itua Lubani, Taylor Munro, Abigail Osborne, Mackenzie Rose Schmidt, Emma Ruth Torrance Burton, Samuel Thomas, Danielle Davis, Emma Kathleen Ferguson, Public Health, Des Moines University now recognizes those graduates who earned the Masters of Public Health degree. Starting with Cassidy Julefroy, Laura Kendall, Alexis Stephanie Cool, Allison Paige Landsman, Likay Michelle Patel, Christine Pinter, Genevieve Louis Richards, Rebecca Jo Smith, Elizabeth Sweet, and Kelly Elizabeth Woods Guy.
Good afternoon. My name is David Roberts, and I'm an assistant professor in the Physician Assistant Program and a proud member of the PA class of 2017. I will announce the names of students receiving the Masters of Science degree in Physician Assistant Studies. Jenna Bramer. Casey Brown, also received Master of Science in Anatomy degree. Allison Lee Buckert. Rebecca Christensen. Ryan Anthony Cruz. Anthony Davis. Elizabeth May Dodge. Cassie Donahue, also received Master of Science in Anatomy degree. Matthew Finnern. Kylie Gallagher. Emily Garrett. Lauren Gray. Jessica Greisen. Jacob Groan. Lily Harvison. Cheyenne Hess. Hillary Johnson. Dallas Johnston. Bailey Jungi. Nicole Majerus. Sophie McKee. Claire Novinsky. Ethan Grant Novosinski. Molly Pappin. Kelsey Pogatets. Colin Pranger. Christy Lee Ralston. Hannah Kristen Reimer. Tucker Reentz. Kylie Elizabeth Sabin. Anne Salo. Savannah Sandvik. Haley Smith. Mark Snell. Dylan Staley. Hannah Lee Stein, graduate with distinction. Amanda Stewart. Morgan Striley. Marissa Strong. Emma Louise Sundin. Riley Sutphin. Kristen Savadny. Emily Towns. Jordan Vanderplug. Allison Mornell. Morgan Welch. Molly Wentold. Jada Wierick. Carly Witherall. Nanabana Asiana Wright.
Hello, my name is Danielle Horgan, and I'm an assistant professor in the Physician Assistant program. Today I'll be administering the Physician Assistant Oath. I will ask our new PAs, as well as any PAs in attendance, to stand and recite the oath along with me. I pledge to perform the following duties with honesty and dedication. I will hold as my primary responsibility the health, safety, welfare, and dignity of all human beings. I will uphold the tenets of patient autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice. I will recognize and promote the value of diversity. I will treat equally all persons who seek my care. I will hold in confidence the information shared in the course of practicing medicine. I will assess my personal capabilities and limitations, striving always to improve my medical practice. I will actively seek to expand my knowledge and skills, keeping abreast of advances in medicine. I will work with other members of the healthcare team to provide compassionate and effective care of patients. I will use my knowledge and experience to contribute to an improved community. I will respect my professional relationship with the physician. I will share and expand knowledge within the profession. These duties are pledged with sincerity and upon my honor. You may be seated.
Hello, I am Dr. Julie Ronnebaum, Associate Professor in the Doctor of Physical Therapy program. We will now recognize the graduates of the Doctor of Physical Therapy program. Hooding the graduates are Dr. Shannon Peterson and Dr. Vasilios Verdaxis. Dr. Kaylee Anderson. Dr. AJ Ash. Dr. Emma Baker. Dr. Madeline Bradshaw. Dr. Brady Robert Buckite. Dr. Autumn Christine Busta. Dr. Justin Carlisle. Dr. Katie Renee Cassabaum James. Dr. Jasmine Tina Chung. Dr. Caitlin Chrisman. Dr. Michael John Fetkether. Dr. Sarah Fowle. Dr. Hannah Gordon. Dr. Catherine Julia Graham. Dr. Chelsea Gray. Dr. Sarah Hack. Dr. Samantha Henning. Dr. Kristen Holthouse. Dr. Ashley Renee Howlett. Dr. Eric Sebastian Hubdy. Dr. Sophia Loren Johnson. Dr. Samantha Kitterman. Dr. Ty Stephen Kloft. Dr. Mackenzie Knight. Dr. Colton Kramer. Dr. Kaylee Marie Lucas. Dr. Andra May Luth. Dr. Ian Lewis Malaby. Dr. Anastasia Meyerly. Dr. Daniel Nussbaum. Dr. Elsa Portillo. Dr. Jessica Marie Putzier. Dr. Jessica Riggenscheid. Dr. Philip Richard Jr. Dr. Noah Richards. Dr. Trevor Sabo. Dr. Jeremy R. Sherman. Dr. Brianna Scheiderman. Dr. Madison Seaman, graduate with distinction. Dr. Madison Supisi. Dr. Kathleen Steffen. Dr. Peyton Stock. Dr. Caitlin Morgan Strobely. Dr. Jamie Sturr. Dr. Claire Beth Sabizma. Dr. Morgan Taylor. Dr. Jacob Torkelson. Dr. Taylor Vining. Dr. Taylor Wade. Dr. Caitlin Wielander. Dr. Brandon Wheat. Dr. Alexandra Willman. Dr. Kelsey Zavenbergen.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Tracy Bush, and I am the program director of the Doctor of Physical Therapy, and I am a very proud Des Moines University alumna, class of 1995. So at this time, I would like all of the physical therapy graduates to please stand. In addition, I would like to ask all physical therapists present in the audience today and on the platform to also please stand and join the graduates as we recite the physical therapy oath in unison. As I practice the art of physical therapy, I will respect the rights and dignity of all individuals and will provide compassionate care. I will place the welfare of my patients and clients above my self-interest. I will exercise sound judgment and comply with laws and regulations that govern physical therapy and protect the public from unethical, incompetent, and illegal acts. I will maintain professional competence and promote high standards for physical therapy practice, education, and research. I will address the health needs of society and strive to effect changes that benefit patients, clients, and the community. Thus, with this pledge, I freely accept the responsibilities that accompany the practice of physical therapy. Congratulations, I'm very proud of you. Please be seated.
Hello, I am Dr. John Bennett, Associate Professor in the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery. I will now announce the names of the graduates from our college. Hooding the graduates are Dr. Ashley Dykes, Dr. Sean Grambert, Dr. Matthew Johnstone, and Dr. Alan Kempf. Dr. Caleb Aho. Dr. Maureen Azar. Dr. Ryan Barremeister. Dr. Rachel Beckman. Dr. Camray Brenner, also receiving Master of Healthcare Administration degree. Dr. Bryce Allen Bucklew. Dr. William An Viet Bui Tran, also receiving Master of Science in Anatomy degree. Dr. Madison K. Brandt. Dr. Simon Burke. Dr. Hayden Bush. Dr. Anjali Chandra. Dr. Emily Cleary. Dr. J. Egdorf. Dr. Nicholas Esposito. Dr. Paul M. Evans. Dr. Justin Frazier. Dr. Christine Gillenwater. Dr. Austin Lawrence Gutting. Dr. Amanda Marie Hasty. Dr. Jade Henkel. Dr. Peter Daniel Hollinger. Dr. Michael Huther. Dr. Leandre D. Kennedy, also receiving Master of Science in Anatomy degree. Dr. Xander Hanjun Kim. Dr. Michael Lehman. Dr. Kristen Lyle. Dr. Daniel Lowe. Dr. Matthew Mucheski. Dr. Marissa Malijic. Dr. Samuel Memelar. Dr. Keaton Alexander Merck. Dr. Kirk Metzger. Dr. Austin Morris. Dr. Samuel Rathie. Dr. Erica W. Reed. Dr. Garrett Roten, graduate with distinction. Dr. Amir Jandali Rifai. Dr. Garrett Seichter. Dr. Tushar Singh. Dr. Levi Smith. Dr. Reed Smith. Dr. Blytia Tao. Dr. Taylor Andrew Thomas. Dr. Winston V. Trin. Dr. Rachel Wells. Dr. Zachary Thomas White. Dr. Brianna Ellen Williams. Dr. Isaac Cyril York. Dr. Emily Zink.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Sean Grambart. I'm the Assistant Dean of Clinical Affairs in the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery. I would now like each graduate of the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery to stand and join me in reciting the podiatric oath as it appears on the screen. Upon my honor, I declare that I will accept the moral and legal responsibilities which become mine as a member of the podiatric medical profession. Those talents which I may have been endowed will be devoted to aid those who may choose to entrust themselves to my judgment and care. I will abstain from all intentional harm and wrongdoing to my fellow citizens, especially from abusing the soul or the body of those who entrust themselves to my professional care. In all good faith, I will support my profession and do what I may to advance its best interest, even at the sacrifice of my personal advantages. In serving my patients, I will administer to their needs in a professional manner to the best of my ability. In all instances, I will do that which will reflect credit and honor on this, my chosen profession. Congratulations.
Hello, I am Dr. Craig Camby, Associate Dean for Academic Curriculum and Medical Programs, Dr. Jennifer Beatty, Associate Dean for Graduate Medical Education and Student Advancement, and I will recognize the graduates from the College of Osteopathic Medicine. First, we will recognize the graduates of the college who have earned the Master of Science in Anatomy degree. Taylor Alexander, Patricia Avent, Gina Soraya Boosman, Jack DeYoung, Jessica L. Hensley, Talon John Hofer, Madeline G. Johnson, Luke E. Kaiser, Jordan Samuel, Alexis Louise Van Barley, Benjamin Witt, Robin Ashley Yetz. We will now recognize the graduates of the College of Osteopathic Medicine who have earned the Master of Science in Biomedical Sciences degree. Patrick John Brennan, Kevin John, Sarah Mina, we will now recognize the graduates of the College of Osteopathic Medicine earning the Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine degree. Putting the graduates are Dr. Matt Henry, Dr. Sarah Parrott, Dr. Maria Potestas, and Dr. Rebecca Shaw. Dr. Jake Abramowitz, Dr. Afonso Acosta, Dr. Brendan Adams, Dr. Jordan Arola, Dr. Emma Ali, also receiving Master of Public Health degree. Dr. Morgan Allwell. Dr. Cole Amundsen also received a Master of Science in Anatomy degree. Dr. Philip Anderson. Dr. Jenica Brooke Armstrong. Dr. Aditha Avula. Dr. Jack Shevlin Bailey. Dr. Ali Barnett. Dr. Corey Barnish. Dr. Rebecca Batar. Dr. Jacob Russell Billings. Dr. David Emil Blankenship II. Dr. Sadell Duval Boyer. Dr. Nelson Browning. Dr. Tiffany DeWay Chang also received Master of Science in Biomedical Sciences degree. Dr. Caitlin Chantry. Dr. Alan Chin. Dr. James Chung. Dr. Justin Minhan Choi. Dr. Rachel Christensen. Dr. Connor Christensen. Dr. Linda Chun. Dr. Spencer Clark. Dr. Tessa Isabel Cunha. Dr. Kyle P. DeMello. Dr. John K. Dahl. Dr. Megan Dingus. Dr. Emily Dobrinsky. Dr. Nicholas Dunn. Dr. Richard Michael Dunning. Dr. Kalkini Durai. Dr. Lauren Elizabeth Eady. Dr. Kayla Joyce Edwards. Dr. Harper Ewer. Dr. Ethan Fabriches. Dr. Emily Facile. Dr. Megan Marie Fisher. Dr. Michael Foggia III. Dr. Jacob Frisbee. Dr. Thomas Francis Fusillo. Dr. Madison Mary Galligan. Dr. Peggy Joss Galvez. Dr. Eva Garrison. Dr. Peyton Gomer. Dr. Grace Olivia Gavin. Dr. Griffin Geik. Dr. Amelia Helen Gilliland. Dr. Daniel Goodman. Dr. Kathleen Clifton Casey Guthrow. Dr. Sarah Graber. Dr. Casey Marie Griffith. Dr. Julia Maureen Gutsch. Dr. Jackie Hall. Dr. Amanda Grace Hale. Dr. Jason Thomas Hall. Dr. Jacob Hamilton. Dr. Bennett Harmelink. Dr. Cameron Hartung. Dr. Cade Harvey also received Master of Science in Anatomy degree. Dr. Lane Heinlein. Dr. Kurt Hemphill. Dr. Dylan Hengst. Dr. Brandon Hennessy. Dr. Joseph Raymond Herba. Dr. Hannah Hildal. Dr. Taylor Hill also received Master of Science in Anatomy degree. Dr. David Hirsch. Dr. Alexander Husich. Dr. Taryn Elise High. Dr. Carly June Ermeyer. Dr. Matthew Jacob Etup. Dr. Benjamin Jacobs. Dr. Liz L. Young. Dr. Mark Jarose. Dr. Austin Jasnewski, also receiving Master of Public Health degree. Dr. Ryan B. Johnson. Dr. Said Usich.
Dr. Tamid Kareem. Dr. Aaron Kaiser. Dr. Karis Diana Kassler. Dr. Tejas Kaur. Dr. Taylor Keller. Dr. Kendall Ann Kelly, also receiving Masters of Public Health. Dr. Emily Biggs Kenyon. Dr. Garup Khalsa. Dr. Sabui Khan. Dr. Nicholas Kane. Dr. Catherine Diane Kravchuk. Dr. Darni Krishnamurthy. Dr. Sonia Kumar. Dr. Cassandra Lay. Dr. Ian McAllister Lake. Dr. Parker Winfield Lemon. Dr. Yoting Leo Lee. Dr. Ziyuan Kevin Lee. Dr. Kevin Lin. Dr. Clay Lippert, also received Masters of Science in Anatomy degree. Dr. Christina Isabel Litchfield. Dr. Sarah Littman. Dr. Kirsten L. Lyons. Dr. Curtis Moss. Dr. Tanner Scott Magruder. Dr. Alex Martin. Dr. Christopher Martin. Dr. Joe Metzger. Dr. James A. Michaud. Dr. Kevin Malone. Dr. Joshua Michael Modrick. Dr. Spencer Moore. Dr. Jake Mullenbach. Dr. Boston Murdoch. Dr. Amanda J. Navarro. Dr. Shane Niebeck. Dr. Michelle Quinn Trang Nguyen. Dr. Zachariah I. Niazi. Dr. Kendall Niehaus. Dr. J. Biren Patel. Dr. Preeth H. Patel. Dr. Hannah Grace Patmuruthma. Dr. Benjamin Peters. Dr. Andrew Philippos. Dr. Laurel Peterzak. Dr. Adam J. Poole. Dr. Jack Edward Post. Dr. Corey Neffy Priest. Dr. Sam Preisel, graduate with distinction. Dr. Brandon Thomas Riemann. Dr. Raquel Ralph also received Masters of Healthcare Administration degree. Dr. Allison Marie Richmond also received Masters of Science in Anatomy degree. Dr. Jake Rogers. Dr. Kelsey Rolifson. Dr. Mark Romano. Dr. Matthew Rosabohm. Dr. Alex Ann Roth. Dr. Victoria Rutherford. Dr. Mina Youssef Sad. Dr. Justin Sachs. Dr. Jessica Salpour. Dr. Jasmeet Kaur Sandhu. Dr. Amy Elizabeth Sands. Dr. Kaylee Ann Savage. Dr. Kyle Schaefer. Dr. Samantha Schmitz. Dr. Teresa Ann Schneider. Dr. Caitlin Eileen Schorsch. Dr. Shayla Stanfel Shojat, also received Masters of Science in Biomedical Sciences degree. Dr. Daniel Sievert. Dr. Stephanie Sickink. Dr. Carlin Situ Mayung. Dr. Andrew Smith. Dr. Daniel Jacob Smith. Dr. Spencer Stanford. Dr. Ryan Starkman. Dr. Jacob Stout. Dr. Rebecca Lynn Steineck, also received Masters of Public Health degree. Dr. Samantha Stortz. Dr. Samantha Strike. Dr. Joshua Sumle. Dr. Abigail Therese Tarasevich. Dr. Cameron K. Taylor. Dr. Trevor Thomas Thiss, also receiving Master of Science of Anatomy degree. Dr. Samuel Matthew Thomas. Dr. Austin Tisdell. Dr. Kaya Jo Veldman. Dr. Kira Verkandi. Dr. Seth Vercake. Dr. Carolyn Vo. Dr. Eleni Wallen. Dr. Kayun Wang. Dr. Cole Allen Wesselman, also receiving Master of Healthcare Administration degree. Dr. Maida Winsek Williams. Dr. Brittany Danielle Wilson, also received Masters of Science in Biomedical Sciences degree. Dr. Chasten Womack. Dr. Hannah Catherine Yackley. Dr. Kayla Yates. Dr. Matthew Zoe. Dr. Anthony Zotto. Our final graduates in the class of 2023 for the College of Osteopathic Medicine are the fellows in Osteopathic Manual Medicine. They have spent one additional year training current students in the art and science of osteopathic manual medicine. Dr. Benjamin Dale Hurley. Dr. Samantha Marie Hurley. Dr. Jordan Alexander Little, also received Masters of Science in Anatomy degree. Dr. Kimberly Nicole Miller.
Would those graduates receiving a Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine degree please stand and recite the oath on the screen with me? I do hereby affirm my loyalty to the profession I am about to enter. I will be mindful always of my great responsibility to preserve the health and the life of my patients, to retain their confidence and respect both as a physician and a friend, who will guard their secrets with scrupulous honor and fidelity, to perform faithfully my professional duties, to employ only those recognized methods of treatment consistent with good judgment and with my skill and ability, keeping in mind always nature's laws and the body's inherent capacity for recovery. I will be ever vigilant in aiding in the general welfare of the community, sustaining its laws and institutions, not engaging in those practices which will in any way bring shame or discredit upon myself or my profession. I will give no drugs for deadly purposes to any person, though it be asked of me. I will endeavor to work in accord with my colleagues in a spirit of progressive cooperation, and never by word or by act cast imputations upon them or their rightful practices. I will look with respect and esteem upon all those who have taught me my art. To my college, I will be loyal and strive always for its best interests and for the interests of the students who will come after me. I will be ever alert to further the application of basic biologic truths to the healing arts and to develop the principles of osteopathy, which were first enunciated by Andrew Taylor Still. Congratulations.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the President of the Alumni Association for Des Moines University, Dr. Robert Good, a 1977 graduate of the Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine program. Dr. Good.
Thank you, Dr. Franklin. Graduates, congratulations. This ceremony is always very impressive and very special. Today, you are experiencing the pride and the accomplishment of earning a professional degree. You have the key to changing not only your life, but the life of the world. One patient at a time, one community at a time. As you fulfill your highest individual goals, please also remember sharing your lifelong connection as alumni to this great institution and developing that relationship as ongoing partners to the success of Des Moines University. Congratulations from the Alumni Board. Thank you.
At this point in our celebration, it is befitting for the graduates to pay tribute to those who have significantly contributed to their success. Will graduates in attendance today please rise and pay tribute to the guests who are with us. We encourage everyone, after we are finished with our ceremony, to take a moment and contact those who have made a difference in your life and helped you through your journey while at Des Moines University. On behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff at Des Moines University, we commend each of you on achieving this significant milestone. And now, my charge to the graduates. To the members of the class of 2023, this day is a special day of celebration, achievement, and challenge. We celebrate your successful completion of the requirements for the Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, Doctor of Podiatric Medicine, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Master of Science in Anatomy, Master of Science in Biomedical Sciences, Master of Science in Physician Assistant Studies, Master of Public Health, and Master of Healthcare Administration. Today, we acknowledge your mastery of a body of knowledge and a set of special skills with which you can now go forth to provide special expertise and services to improve the health and healthcare of our state, our nation, and the world. We extend our congratulations to you and to your families and loved ones. We share their pride in your accomplishments, and we are as excited as they are about the service you will provide and the positive difference you all will make. What an exciting and rewarding future that lies ahead for you. A favorite quote of mine is, "Know that you will make your living by what you get, but you will make a life by what you give." Use that superpower we call a DMU education to define and drive your life of service. Commit to your role in fulfilling our noble mission in the provision of medical care, in the advancement of scientific knowledge, and in strengthening our systems of healthcare and public health to serve all people and populations. Reach far, dream colossal dreams, set audacious goals, Be bold in leadership, and in the name of service to mankind, humankind, be possessed of an outrageous ambition to make things better. That is your legacy and your future. The service you will give is partial payment on the investments made by others in you. As you fulfill your legacy, I charge you to relentlessly pursue knowledge, seek wisdom, and demand excellence throughout your lifetime of yourself, your colleagues, your organizations, and your professions. Know there's much you don't know, and make the pursuit of knowledge both a daily and a lifelong habit. I charge you to fulfill the promise of being health professionals, committed first to serving our nation's underserved citizens with a dedication to prevention, wellness, and the delivery of compassionate, patient-centered care and public health best practices. I charge you to provide leadership in your organizations, your professions, and your communities. Lead with the greater good as your top priority, and build relationships with colleagues to advance that greater good. I charge you to maintain respect for others and to cherish those who have been your greatest champions. Remember that professional integrity is essential to your success as a health professional. So I charge you to also embrace the values of honesty, accountability, collaboration, and inclusiveness as the basic tenets of integrity. I charge you to be honorable and supportive alumni of Des Moines University. See this as an imperative to invest in the next generation of health professionals, as those who came before you have invested in you and your peers. And always be assured of our enormous pride in all of you. Focus your significant knowledge, energy, and passion on improving the quality of life for all people. Congratulations, class of 2023. Graduates can remain standing as we have our closing.
First, congratulations to all of you. In all probability, your life will never be the same. In a good way, though. Anyway, these proceedings are now officially closed. Guests, please remain seated until the recessional is completed. The doors on my left will remain closed until all graduates have walked through the hallway. Graduates are encouraged to meet their families and friends in the lobby area. With the platform party, faculty, graduates, please rise for the recessional.